I've been thinking about how many things people don't know about thrift stores or may not know. And as you know, I volunteer, so I thought maybe I'd share a little bit of that with you today and get behind the scenes. So let me take you through a little bit of what goes on. So in our thrift store, you go around the back, people go around the back, and they deliver their donations. And there are people there who are ready, willing, and able to take those donations and bring them in. Problem is, all donations aren't good, really. When you're going through those, and I've helped out once or twice in the back, but I do watch them when I go back there are things that are broken. There are things that are stained. There are things that are in garbage bags with garbage. No kidding. There are things that are so outdated that they're not even considered valuable. And there are just things that are in conditions that are so ridiculous. In the store, the people have to make decisions quickly. And sometimes that's a bad thing, and I'll tell you why. I hate to even say this, but I've seen vintage antiques get broken and thrown out. And as a reseller, that drives me nuts. But anyway, let's not talk about that. I'm sure that most people, not all, donate with good intentions. There's always that one. But we can't keep all of it because it's not always sellable, really. That could be the best word. So people will send in holes, things with holes, things that don't work. They have to test all of the battery operated things. They have to test all of the plug-in things. And when they do that, they put on it works. They put a sticker on it that says works. So that's a good thing. But sometimes people come up. I'm at the front desk, so sometimes people come up and they want you to plug it in and try it out for them, and I don't blame them. And sorting that stuff is a huge job. Now, I'm there on the day where people are just putting all the clothes that come in one section for the people who come in on other days. So there are a few different groups. There's a Tuesday and Thursday group. There's a Monday and Friday group. And there's a Wednesday group. So you don't always know everybody who's working there either if you're an employee, well, a volunteer, or someone who's coming in shopping. But what you really don't see is that how huge of a job that sorting is, because the clothes, let's say clothes, the clothes will come in. They have to wait for the people who are doing clothes. Those people have a whole other space in another part of the building where they'll check it, steam some things, gowns and things. Sometimes, even if there are little faults, they can fix them, stain remove, stain spot. But they are handling thousands of items that they need to make decisions about literally within minutes, seconds really, but minutes if they really have to look something over. Pricing isn't random, but it kind of is. The thrift store I work in is still very, very, very cheap. And some stores are priced very high. So when you go to other thrift stores, even me, I'm like, these prices are high. Yet for people who are just buying it for themselves, a lot of things are not high. But a lot of things are crazy nowadays. Mine is even starting to mark up a little bit, and some things don't sell as well. You got to think about it. I volunteer for a nonprofit. I'm just going to say work. I work for a nonprofit. So it's a little bit different, but you still have bills. I'm not even sure about how much the store that I work in has to pay because it's out of an old school that's part of the church. So there may not be too many of those bills, and that might be why we're cheaper. But The store is there basically to keep the church running. And they have to do all kinds of events to keep the church running. And it's a lot. So, pricing, balancing, you just never know how it's going to be when you go into a thrift store. It's always different pretty much everywhere you go. Even if you go to two different Goodwills and they have the same item, they may not be the same price. They may have come in on different days. A lot of the thrift stores work by ticket colors so that they know, all right, yellow is January, green is February. I'd like purple to be February. And I love purple. And they do it that way so that they know how long the inventory has been in there. Where I am, they don't do that. We just put one color ticket on, and it doesn't even matter if we put different color tickets on. We only go by one color, except if there's a sale every once in a blue moon. When we have too many things, we'll say all pink tags are, $1 or whatever, half price. And I'm not defending these stores, I'm just explaining things. People who are shopping at thrift stores may be of different income levels, but they're all looking for the same things, a good deal. Some people are shopping there out of need. Some people just love thrifting like me. Do you love thrifting? Because I really, really love thrifting. And, some people it's a hobby. Some people it's their job. Some people are resellers. Some people are collectors. And first timers, I find, are really nervous when they come into a thrift store. But they love it. They love it. So everyone walking through those doors has the same intention to get things cheaper or for a good price, but it's all for a different reason. And certain things are priced for resellers, and certain things are just priced for people. And that's okay. When I know resellers are people, but you know what I mean. They're just there for the consumer. That's the better way to say it. So everyone walking into the store has a different story in life. My story is I'm a reseller, but I used to thrift when I was younger. I lived in the Bronx, right? And my mom used to take us to this thrift store that was within the hospital. Oh, we loved it. Do you remember when in the hospitals years ago they used to even have little things out in the hallway to sell? That was fun. So every store, excuse me, take a drink. Every store, every shop, whether it's nonprofit, whether it's profit, they might have space limitations like I have in my home. Do you have space limitations? Let me know in the comments. No matter how these items appear, it doesn't mean they weren't loved once. So people don't want to know their things are getting thrown away. I don't know why I just thought of that. So sometimes thrift stores are emotional places. I always like bringing the emotion in because it really is in everything in life, I feel. Let me tell you about this emotion. It's a different one. It has nothing to do with me working at the thrift store, but after my mom and my dad passed, my mom died and then my father died 2 to 4 years later. I don't remember now. And we had to get rid of everything. So we decided to have garage sales and also call my father's clubs that he was at to see if anyone needed any of his furniture or different things that he had. And that's how we did it. But we also brought things to local thrift stores. And so I walked into this local thrift store, and no joking, I had brought things that were left from the garage sale. My sister brought things to the same garage, to the same place. I didn't know it. When those birds want to wake up, they let you know it. We'll talk about birds someday if you have any. Ugh, I'll talk about that on my other channel. So, oh, I do have another channel now, and it's going to be starting today. I thought it was going to be starting yesterday, and I'll put a video up there sometime by tonight, and it is called Here in Real Life with Marion. Take a look at it. I might, if I remember, put it down in the description below. So these items, for people who are bringing them and for people who are buying them, they're memory-filled items. Now, some people could even feel that, but we won't get into that now. So a lot of them are donations after loss or change. So we have to be sympathetic, empathetic for the people who are bringing things in, because we don't know why. And they just need some tender love and care. I think they find comfort in knowing that bringing things to our store, sometimes where their mom or dad has been coming for years and years and years and years, that they're giving back to the store. So some of them are really happy about that. And I think a lot of us volunteers find purpose there. That just gave me like a good feeling when I said that. When I've been thrifting forever, like I said, but in this one particular store, I used to thrift all the time, even before I was reselling. And even before I had my thrift store. That's how I got so much inventory. Thank you very much, because they're really priced well. And I used to love this one woman in there. And I said to my husband, I'd really love to be friends with her. But that was, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 5. And he said, well, talk to her. But I don't know what it is with me. I am mostly an introvert, guys. I'm finding most resellers are. But I didn't even know how to ask her at our age. You want to be my friend? You want to go to lunch? Because we really didn't know each other. Just from when I went in the thrift store, I loved the laughter. I loved them talking up front. And then all of a sudden, one day, I went in the store to thrift after not being in there for a while. And that person came over to me and said, hey, I got to ask you something. Come here. She said, do you want to work with me 2 days a week? And I said, no, but I'll do one. And she was like, all right. And I've been there ever since. And I love it when she's there with me. When she's not, it's all right, but it's not the same. So I just wanted to share some of these things with you and let you know how it works behind the scenes. So if you've ever wondered why thrift stores work the way they do, this is why. Literally, it's an army. If I had to think about how many people are actually there, I've gone in on a day where I am off and just to go say hi, and there are 12 people working. On my day, let's see, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10. So it takes a lot. So I hope this gave you a little more understanding about thrift stores and how they work. And maybe you'll have a little bit more appreciation for those volunteers, because some people aren't nice. Most are, but some aren't. We're volunteers. We could only do so much. There's a lot of heart behind those racks, though. And that's what you have to know. Those things that are brought in are memories, and some people that are in there are hurting. Others are like us, and they're making money from it, but it's all good. And I hear a lot of people putting down resellers being in that store, and I stick right up for us, because if it wasn't for us, I feel like the stores wouldn't be open. I mean, we have a couple of customers who spend $100 easy every time I'm there, sometimes $200. what would we do without them? Two of them, you're making $400, so $200 for that day. So thank you, thrifters. Thank you, thrift stores. Thank you, thrift store owners. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you. When am I going to see you? When? Tomorrow.